Selfie sticks or monopoles are a great way to get different perspectives on various shots, especially with 360 cameras. But sometimes you need both hands scrambling on rock or hiking or something like that. And so I've come up with a backpack camera mount. A lot of people have done something like this, but this one you can use from the back, from the front. You can go vertical and on the sides. Both sides. 6 different positions in an infinite number of angles. And here's the secret. And I've optimized this design to work with a whole range of cameras, whether it's 360 cameras, action cameras, or smartphones. And oh, by the way, it can go from 2 feet out to 5 or more. It's a simple design. I've got all the secrets and I'm willing to share them with you. So let's go to a top-down shot and I'll show you all the design trade-offs so you can make one for around $15. So I call this a 6-way because it can be done this way, that way, angle side. You can do this side, that side, or you can do vertical up this way or vertical up that way. And then all I've done here is I've taped off some black electrical tape and then come in here like this. You want to make sure that you have plenty of extra in there, and then just cleaned it up with a black magic marker. And you can see I did the same thing on this side. Then here I got a little more fancy because originally this much was sticking out of the bag. Now that I've cut this down a little bit, it's pretty flush. And then to keep these 2 zippers from coming apart, I just take a simple carabiner. It doesn't have to be black. Bring it around. All these pipes go in, and it's pretty important. The full length right here is at least 1/2 inch and it's screwed down. And that's based on past experience. And then if you want to go vertical, you can just undo it here. Stuff this back in the bag. And then you just take your stick and put it in there like that. And then just lock it off the same way you did before. And I've got an aviation background, so that's why you can see all these crazy tags on my bag. So you want to do the side piece, you just bring the zippers around, put the stick in of the pole. And again, these aren't going all the way in because I have the screws that have been mounted in place. And then you're filming from the side at different angles. I've never seen a design like this one before, and I'm real happy with the final product. And it should go through security. You might have to check the bag with this piece here. And if you needed to, you could actually break this guy down into pieces about that length, or this length would be the longest one. You could unscrew all these screws and you could make it even more portable. Go down into a tube. If this wasn't long enough for you, if 5 feet, you could certainly make this longer. But I liked the advantage of being able to put this on my back in any one of these configurations, or just take it off quickly and then boom, you got it out there, and it's pretty stable. Just as a reminder, you can see down below where I've done the testing for this, and I plan to take this out now more than ever this spring, summer, and really kind of run it through the paces and get some really great footage. And just to give you a sense of what that measurement is, 14 inch piece of PVC, 1/2 inch PVC here. This is Schedule 20 PVC, and I've slid in an old selfie stick. So we're going to go into some details here. First of all, this pivot. You can see that I've got this in. Now I would screw that in place, but I'm just doing a quick slip application here. And so let me see. So you can see that that pivots right here at this joint. 1/4 inch screw, flathead here. And it's about a 180 degree slot from side to side that allows it to pivot and then all the way around, front and back. So that's fairly easy to do, and I'll post down below where I made a similar rig. I've used this technique a whole bunch of times, so I'm not going to repeat how I did that there. Many of my designs is you can customize it any way you want. You could go and just have this corner and then you just have the frame here. This is probably the most complicated piece, this angle here that you can lock down. Or maybe this is the only one you want to do. Now the geometry in here is pretty important, so I'll give you the dimensions of each one of these so you get a sense of what you need to do. This is all 1/2 inch PVC, and you can see that I've actually screwed it down. You could glue it down, but I'm glad I did it this way, because if it's not exactly right and you want to trim off a 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch wherever, if you got it glued in, you got to start from the beginning. Whereas if you just pop the screw out, you can change the length of it, shorten it up if you need to. That pipe there is 9 1/4 inches for this piece, so that makes that 9 1/4 inches on top. On the side here is 12 1/2, because that's about right where the pipe goes into. Now this one's a little different. You got a piece that's 8 inches, and then you have a piece that is 4 1/2 inches. So this is 4 1/2 inches and 8 inches. Here you have a regular coupler, and then this rather elegant piece here. This is a T, and you can see I have a hole in there, and the reason why is because before I put this guy in, I wanted to put in a nylon lock nut into here, and you may be able to see it. You can see that I use this concept in a lot of different builds. This is a different version of a multi-axis pivot for a camera. And this is just a standard skateboard bearing, and you can see that it doesn't fit in there completely. So what you got to do is heat this up carefully and then press fit this in there, and you'll come up with something like this for the T. And so that's what's in there. I cut this guy down, what the original looked like, so that I had the minimal amount of spacing here. And then that's just a hole that I drilled so I would have access to the bolt. Here it's a 2 inch 1/4 inch bolt, and that fits in there nice with a couple washers. What I have here is a 45 inch long piece of 500 pound paracord. You could probably use 360 pound paracord, whatever it is. I just chose 500. If I was to do this over again, I would make it 46, 47, maybe even 48 inches long, and I'll show you why. So I have the paracord with a simple knot in it and one of the toggles, and I've run it through this hole right here. Now I'm going to take the second toggle. I like these for this build. You can use any kind of toggle that accepts a 550 pound piece of paracord. You're going to do one loop, a second loop, and then bring it around the back. You run it through the toggle, and what you're providing here is a lockout. Through the back side of the toggle here. 1, 2, and if you want you can do 3, like that, and then just run it through the second hole here, and it will pop up on this end, and then just kind of straighten it out a little bit, and then run it through the toggle, and then do another simple overhand knot. And this is where you wish you had like an extra inch. And then boom shalaboom, you got your setup. And then this allows you to do all sorts of adjustments in locking things out. And it will be just like that. Or if you're flipping over and you're running the pole on this side, that's the way the frame's gonna look. Couple other builder tips I wanted to point out to you. This is all just black tape. This is red tape. And then these screws are just sharp pan head framing screws, 7 x 7/16 or 1.1 centimeters. So they're little short guys, but they really do make a difference in locking everything down. On all of these screws, I pre-drilled the hole with a 4/64 inch drill bit, and the reason for that is you want something just a little smaller so that the threads show on the outside of the drill bit, so that way you get a good, nice locked in piece. This is not locked in. You could certainly put some screws in place. I wanted to have a little bit of flexibility going this way to help with the adjustment of this piece. If for some reason I wanted to have it slightly forward or slightly back on the side. So that gives me a little bit of extra. The backpack itself, when you got it all zipped in, is containing the frame. This piece here, you really wouldn't have to do this. It's just a wing nut, and again, I was just trying to make it so you take the screw out and then you could just twist in the 360 selfie stick. Thumbs up and comments always appreciated. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in designs of all kinds, including photography equipment, the evaluation of sports gear, electronics, I even do cosplay, costumes, and props, check out my channel and please subscribe. Because you never know what you're gonna see.